How do you define what's a good credit card in Canada? Over the past year, I probably reviewed over a dozen credit cards in Canada and even put them on a tier list. So I have a pretty good idea on which credit cards in Canada are good and which credit cards in Canada are trash. The one thing I hear from my viewers a lot and even in the public is that the Canadian credit cards suck compared to the US. And I actually agree and also disagree. Unfortunately, Canada, we're tiny compared to the US. I mean, not in terms of land size, but you get what I mean. The market size here is just smaller, so banks don't have to offer big incentives to grab your business. They just don't. So in terms of credit cards, I would say that the average reward system in Canada is definitely weaker than the US. However, the top tier cards like Amex Kobo card or Rogers MasterCard, I would put them up against any US credit cards and I'm sure they're gonna hold up. Obviously, those two cards don't represent the Canadian credit card market as a whole. So how do you define a good Canadian credit card? So in this video, I'm gonna break it down into two tiers. Free credit cards and credit cards within the $100 to $200 range. Cause those are the two most popular tiers. And within those tiers, I'm gonna break it down even further into two different types of credit cards. Cashback/rewards and travel. Cause those are the two most common types of credit cards in Canada. And hopefully after watching this video, you can judge for yourself if the credit card you're currently using or the credit card you're looking to apply for is a decent card. So let's start off with free cashback/rewards credit cards. And right off the bat, we're gonna take Rogers MasterCard out of the equation because that's an outlier. Assuming you can use this card as your general purchase credit card, the minimum you want to aim for is a credit card that offers you 1% cashback or rewards for all your purchases. And that just makes it usable. It doesn't make it decent, just usable. Which means you really shouldn't be using any credit cards that offers less than that. So for example, a card like TD Cashback Visa card would be a pretty weak card in this category. Because for general purchases, you only get 0.5% cashback and the highest amount of cashback you get for any categories is 1%. So based on the rule I mentioned earlier, this is a card you should avoid. However, let's take a look at a card like Simply Cash card from American Express. 1.25% cashback for general purchases and 2% for certain categories. So by using Amex Simply Cash, you're getting 2.5 times more cashback for general purchases than TD Cashback card. So based on the rule I mentioned earlier, 1% minimum cashback or rewards, the Amex Simply Cash is a decent card for general purchases. Now, what about backup credit cards? Cause you really can't have just one card in your wallet. You need a combo of at least 2 or 3 credit cards to maximize your returns. So for a free backup/rewards credit card, you want to have at least one category that offers at least 2% cashback to make it usable. Again, usable doesn't mean great. It just means it's a pass. So for example, a card like Tangerine MasterCard would be a usable backup card because you get 2% cashback on up to 3 different categories. My hand-eye coordination is completely garbage. Another card to look at is the Simply Cashback Visa card. 4% cashback for restaurants makes this card one of the best backup credit cards in Canada. But this card can really only be used as a backup card because their base rewards is pretty low at 0.5% for general purchases. So to summarize, for a free cashback/rewards credit card you want to use for your general purchase credit card, for a card to be usable, like doesn't suck, you need at least 1% rewards or cashback. Anything better would be considered decent, anything worse you want to avoid. For a free backup cashback or rewards credit card, you want at minimum one category that offers at least 2% returns. Of course, the more categories the better, the higher returns the better. Alright, let's talk about free travel credit cards. At minimum in this category, you want your card to waive the foreign transaction fees. Traveling can be very expensive. I'm sure you know, and credit cards make it even worse by charging you like 2.5% for foreign transaction fees. So imagine spending thousands of dollars abroad and paying hundreds of dollars in foreign transaction fees. So a card like Home Trust Preferred Visa would help you mitigate that. Cause it's free and it helps you waive those annoying foreign transaction fees. And really, as of this moment, it's really the only credit card you should consider for a free travel credit card. And honestly, the baseline baseline for future free travel credit cards that has yet to be released. Alright, let's look at cards in the $100 to $200 annual fee range. Again, we're gonna break this down into cashback / rewards and travel. For cashback / rewards in the $100 to $200 range, you need at minimum 4% cashback or rewards in groceries. Other than housing, the next biggest expense for Canadians is groceries. So any credit cards within the $100 to $200 range that doesn't offer at least 4% cashback for groceries has to be considered below average. Now, on top of 4% rewards for groceries, ideally you want more than one other category offering at least 2% returns. And recurring bills has to be one of those categories. And the reason for that is because, well, Canadians spend a lot on recurring bills. You know, like phone bills, internet bills, your Netflix, your YouPorn,
What did he say?
your YouTube premium subscription. Oh, and rent counts as recurring bills as well if you use CheckC to pay. So let's take a look at the card like BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite. Look, I know it's a very popular card and it just blows my mind. Now, each BMO point is worth about 0.67 cents. So 5x rewards on groceries, gas, and transit, which means 3.35% return on groceries, gas, and transit. Okay, first of all, 3.35% return on groceries, that's less than the 4% minimum benchmark. That's already a fail right there. Well, you might say, well, what about the 3.35% on gas and transit? Alright, let's take a look at CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite. 4% cashback on groceries and gas. Alright, the transit is only 2%, but you and I know we spent a lot more money on groceries compared to transit. But if you watched my previous video, I only ranked the CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite a B. And that's because the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite offers 4% on groceries and recurring bills. And again, the 4% cashback for recurring bills is much more important than the 4% cashback for gas. So to summarize, for the cashback and rewards credit cards in the $100 to $200 annual fee range, at minimum, you need at least 4% cashback on groceries, and multiple other categories offering at least 2% cashback. And one of those categories has to be recurring bills. And this is the reason why the Amex Kobo card is one of the best credit cards in Canada. Their 5 times multiplier for groceries can be worth up to 10% rewards. And that's only one of the reasons why the Amex Kobo card is so good. And I still cut that card up, so if you're curious, check out why. Alright, let's take a look at travel credit cards in the $100 to $200 range. At minimum, you want no foreign transaction fees. If that's the minimum requirement for free travel credit card, that has to be a requirement for a card that costs $100 to $200. In addition, you want a card that gives you good airport experience. Unfortunately, for travel cards, their reward system isn't as good as cashback credit cards, so you want to make sure that the airport experience is good. Whether that being free lounge access, free checked bags, priority boarding. Let's take a look at the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite. No foreign transaction fees, and 6 free lounge access per year. These benefits makes the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite an ideal travel card. Now, it goes without saying that all credit cards within the $100 to $200 range should have a pretty comprehensive insurance package, like extended warranty, out-of-province travel insurance, or car rental insurance. Alright, let's do a full summary. Again, I might be repeating myself, but again, you want to use these criteria as the baseline to judge all credit cards in Canada. For a free credit card, for a card to be usable, at least 1% cashback or rewards for all purchases, or at least one category with a 2% cashback or more if you're using it for a backup card. For a travel card, easy, just no foreign transaction fees. Now for cards in the $100 to $200 annual fee range, 4% cashback for groceries, that's the minimum, and more than one category offering at least 2% cashback. Ideally, recurring bills. For travel credit cards, first of all, no foreign transaction fees, and airport benefits like free checked bags, lounge access, and priority boarding. And of course, cards with an annual fee of $100 to $200 has to have a comprehensive insurance package. You know, the usuals like travel insurance, car rental insurance, purchase protection, and extended warranty. Alright, that's it for today. Hopefully with this video, you can judge for yourself if a credit card in Canada is good or trash. And if you learned something from my video, consider a like or sub. And if you're new to the channel, I make financial tips for Canadians in my long-form content and financial comedy in my shorts. So yeah, check out my shorts if you want a good laugh. Anyways, that's it. I'm out. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.